Oh, my vision seems to be failing me. Are you a boy or a girl?
Hello everyone, this is Pluto here. Welcome back to another video, and in this video we are going to discuss an important and necessary topic that has had the community in uproar recently. It basically is a change in Test Realm that was kind of under the radar, but eventually it was made known by the widespread community, and it sent shockwaves throughout everyone, especially on Twitter. So basically the UI text in the create a character page for the player models was changed. It used to say boy or girl. You would click on whether you wanted to be a boy or a girl. It was changed to style A and style B. Now, this change wasn't announced by Wizard101. We only really found out about it via Atmoplex, but this news just sent people on Twitter insane. I haven't even checked Reddit. I'm sure Reddit's having a field day over this one. It's basically just sent people really crazy. Many people were outraged and very upset, saying things like, Wizard101 has gone woke, while others were supportive of this change, saying, that it makes transgender people and non-binary people feel more comfortable playing the game. This isn't the first time Wizard101 has done something like this. They've added 2 non-binary characters in the game. One was a couple of years ago. I think it's Phileas Dog, I believe. And the other one was more recently. Actually, it was in this update. In particular, they added this character. It's to do with the new Gauntlet. Again, I haven't really played it yet. I was going to do a video on the new Gauntlet, but this I felt was more important. They've also changed key aspects of the game, too, that have been pretty controversial. I remember when they removed the "My vision is failing me, are you a boy or a girl" line from Ambrose. You also probably saw that at the beginning of the video for the meme that I posted. They removed that entirely from the game. I'm guessing a lot of you didn't really realize that the dialogue that Merle gives you in the create a character screen was removed. It took me a little while to realize it myself. I think they removed it longer than when I had found out. I found out about this like a couple of years ago, but I think it was removed for a little bit longer than when I found out. And all these stuff really went under the radar. They weren't really announced. It wasn't really made known to the community, I guess. So after the Style A and Style B change, one vocal Wizard101 community member on Twitter named Edward Lifegem, or Around the Spiral, I believe Around the Spiral is a fan site, or maybe just has a Twitter account, I'm not sure, that he uses. He posted his disapproval of the change. He said, quote, "I don't want to see Wizard101 become one big political lecture. Liberal or conservative, politics should be left out of this game. Keep Wizard101 Wizard101. Discard the Style A and Style B stuff." Now, personally, I tend to agree with Edward. Leave politics out of the game. The difference here, though, is that, in my opinion, this change was done more under the radar. It was made known by Atmoplex, which, by the way, I know what y'all did. Y'all tweeted this with intent to start a fire. They knew what they were doing by tweeting this. But yeah, so I can understand Edward Lifegem's point of view about how politics need to be left out of the game. Hell, I made a video saying that politics need to stay out of Wizard101. But in this situation, I don't really think Wizard101 is getting political here, or even just doing this for attention or political points, I guess. It was completely unannounced. It was just spiraled out of control by others within the community. It's not like KingsIsle wanted us to know about this or even made it clear that this happened. They just did it. That's it. Simple as that. It was just a change that was done. So really, I don't see how this is anything political. Whereas in the other situation with the Israel-Palestine conflict, that was inherently political because members of the community wanted KingsIsle to do things like charities, things that were very public. But this was under the radar, not really known, only really talked about by Atmo and a few others within the community. So my opinion on all of this is I don't really care. It's a small change, doesn't affect me, and it's not like Kinzile is trying to get attention, like I said. If Kinzile was trying to get attention off of this, then I would be like, okay, that's pretty stupid. But they're not getting any attention. It's just a small change, inconsequential to the rest of the game. You can ignore it, probably wouldn't even notice it. Literally the only people that noticed it are Amoplex, and I'm sure the only reason they noticed it is because they went through the files and saw every single change that was made and just happened to see this one. You would not have noticed this on your first playthrough, I guarantee. You've created a new character, it's not noticeable. So really, I don't really care. That's just my opinion, though. I can understand at least where Edward Lifegem and some others in the community are coming from and respect their opinions. I may not agree with some of the things that they say, but I would not get upset or angry with them for sharing their opinions. But this is Twitter, so of course everything went to hell. So Edward Lifegem tweeted that tweet that I just read to you, and here were some of the replies or people just talking about or talking to Edward himself. Quote, dude, you literally support politicians who actively demonize and strip the rights of the people you supposedly want to include. Cut the effing act. Quote, nobody tell Edward Chudgem what caramel is about. Quote, tweeted by a gay man, by the way. A gay man tweeted that. Embarrassing. There were plenty of other rude tweets towards Edward, many of which I can no longer access because this bullying got so out of hand that he literally deactivated his Twitter accounts because of it. Yeah, Wizard101 Twitter literally bullied a community member because he had an opinion. That was it. The tweet that I read to you was his tweet. They bullied him over that. These whizheads try to justify it by preaching on some moral high ground or saying something like Edward Lifegem needs to be tolerant of others, when they literally bullied him off of the platform. Quite literally the opposite of tolerance. This isn't the only situation that has happened because of the Style A and Style B stuff. Fairy Queens posted a meme about the situation, literally just a joke, clearly, and she's also getting hate because of it. People said, quote, it's at the expense of non-binary people. I have no other words for these Twitter heads, really. They're literally insane. They are not representative of the community at large, and they need to stop with the harassment, toxicity, and bullying. Just seriously stop, guys. I shouldn't have to say this, but it's okay to have an opinion that isn't someone else's. Edward Lifegem had an opinion and got bullied out of the community because some weirdos on Twitter didn't like his opinion. And that's not to say everyone that disagreed with Edward is in the wrong. You are allowed to voice your opinion or your disagreement with him. And a lot of people did. And I support people that were at the very least respectful to him and they just voiced their opinion. That's it. But it was the people that were bullying him and being toxic to him and harassing him that was way out of pocket. And it's just such a degenerate thing to do, in my opinion. If there's anyone outside of the Wizard101 community watching this video, just know that the vast majority of the community is not like this. I know plenty of people who may disagree with Edward, but at the very least treated him with respect. And Edward, I'm pretty sure you're watching this. If you are, then my advice to you would be just take a break from Twitter, man. A couple weeks, months, however long you need. If you wish to come back to the community, I'm sure most of us would welcome you back. But yeah, just take a break. Take however long you need. It can get really stressful. And honestly, this whole situation reminds me of when I made that video saying Wizard101 should stay out of politics. I received immense backlash on Twitter from a lot of the same people that have been harassing and being rude to Edward here. A lot of these people were literally targeting me when I made that video, which is just insane. I have a different opinion than you. That's it. Who cares, dude? We play a children's card game, bro. Who the hell cares? It's just insane, these people. And the person that I literally called out in that video too treated me with respect. We had a conversation. We were able to hash things out. Literally, it was just Twitter that blew the entire thing out of proportion. It was just chill out, guys. Seriously, just chill out. I defended Edward Lifegem on Twitter, and some weirdo looked at the accounts that I followed and insinuated I was transphobic because I follow some right-wing accounts. He has no idea who I am. Dude, I am a political nerd, alright? Any of you don't know, if I'm not playing Wizard101, I'm usually reading something about politics or elections. So yes, I follow right-wing accounts, I follow left-wing accounts, I follow political accounts in general. That's just who I am. He also literally called me a transphobe, not just insinuated I was one, after I said Edward Lifegem wasn't. I'm just gonna leave the tweets on the screen for y'all to read these yourself. It's insane. These people just... it's hard for me to deal with Twitter whizheads sometimes, and this situation is just, I don't know. It's just really, really unfortunate that this had to happen, and it's unfortunate for the community because I know the majority of the community is not like this. And this situation in general made me want to make a video on it. I really didn't want to add fuel to the fire, but that interaction that I had just left me so dumbfounded that I had to talk about this. And the individual that I had this interaction with also implied that anyone who he disagrees with should be shunned from the community. Quote, "You can make the choice to not sanction hateful people, but the 101 community at large does not agree with you. The good ones believe in equality for queer and trans people. We won't tolerate people who do not, especially in today's climate." That's the bottom line. I agree. Those who are hateful to others should be sanctioned. And I think you should also look in a mirror. And Edward was not hateful. He was respectful. He may have been a little inflammatory with what he said, or his rhetoric, but at the end of the day, he wasn't disrespectful. He wasn't name-calling. He wasn't being rude. He was just stating his opinion. You, on the other hand, and you know who you are, were extremely hateful. I don't really want to turn this into a political issue, or I don't really want to get involved in like elected officials or anything like that. But I have to just read this tweet here from shortly after the 2024 presidential election. This is after Trump had won the 2024 election. He said, quote, "We're actually so effed. I hope all of you morons that voted for Trump are happy when this country takes an absolute nosedive. Trump had 4 years to prove himself, and he didn't do jack shit. Then tried to overthrow the government, and you still vote for him. Actual degeneracy." So, basically, if you voted for Trump or supported Trump, you should be sanctioned or shunned from the Wizard101 community, according to this guy. This guy is literally advocating for a good chunk of the community to be ousted. I did a poll which found that 35% of y'all disagree with the Style A, Style B change. According to this individual, all of you should be shunned or sanctioned out of the community. So, one final thing I'd want to say. Stop preaching to us about tolerance and respect. You have none of it. You call myself and others buzzwords because we disagree with you or don't appreciate your behavior. You have no idea what I believe. You have no idea what my opinions are on anything. And if you want to call me transphobic, then so be it. You bully everyone who disagrees with you. You are so extremely childish and disrespectful. Go touch grass and grow up, dude. That's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to call out some whizheads on Twitter. I know that the majority of the community is not this toxic. While I may disagree on certain political topics, most of us are at the very least respectful of each other and don't hate or bully each other. Anyways, y'all, that's all I had to say. Feel free to leave your opinions in the comments below. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all in the next video.